Hello everybody, nice to have you here. Today we will talk about API mesh, and it will be nothing new today from technical point of view, but several weeks ago Adobe released a new version of API mesh, and this time this version includes API mesh on the edge. I hope you heard already about edge delivery services which provided by Adobe. So I will tell you it's not much connected to this one, but if you'll go to the API mesh for Adobe developers landing page, you will see this notice there, which is telling you to update notice for legacy mesh URLs. And to be more precise, API mesh now runs at the edge, and legacy mesh URL will be removed later this year. You can even click to link and go to the next page, and it will give you more information about what's changed. In short, been changed the way how API mesh been stored. So now the mesh is stored on the edge, and if you're talking about the edge delivery services, that's a way of delivering you the content. In this case, it's an API and it's a mesh by uploaded or offloaded to the CDN. Means your request will be served by the closest server to you. Means the performance is promised to be much faster. At the same time, the deployment time of this mesh will be a bit slower, so the first request that you send may be a bit slower because it's needed a bit more time to warm up the whole API connection. But yeah, what does it mean for us as developers? What do we need to do and how it looks like? And that's what I want to share with you today. Before I will start, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video if you like it. If you want to support it, I also have Buy Me a Coffee. Account, so feel free. I will be very happy. And yeah, let's move forward. So today I want to show how to switch to Edge and what's changed from the developer experience. So how to create a mesh and manage it, I already showed in previous videos. So if you haven't watched it, feel free, it's in the list. But today we will proceed forward, assuming you already know how to work with API mesh. So our file contains from standard endpoint, which is a public one, veniam@magento.com/graphql. And one parameter I added in compared to the previous videos is use get for queries parameters. What it will do, so you can call the GraphQL of Magento via the post or via the get, and you will get the same results back. The difference is the way you transfer the parameters. If it's a body via the post, or if it's part of the query parameters, then it's via the get. In standard, if you not define this parameter, every get request still will be sent by post to the target system. So by defining this one, you tell to the mesh, hey, please keep the get and use get for queries when it's possible, which will have a huge impact on your performance, because the get query has been cached in standard Adobe Commerce Cloud by Fastly. And from dev experience, nothing really changed. So you can still do IO, API mesh, update, mesh JSON, and it will do an update. Yes, I want to update it. And that's it. So it's published in a queue. It will be updated after some time, and we can always check the status. Now, if you'll check the status of the update, you will see here basically the same notice. We saw it on the homepage already, but now you also have two blocks here. One is a legacy mesh and edge mesh. So the legacy mesh is still supported, and you still can use it, despite it will be deprecated somewhere closer to the end of the year. But you have now two statuses. And if you call the status again, we can see that the legacy mesh was already built, because it's basically the single point. When it's got built, it's faster. And edge mesh takes a bit more time, which is still not so many time. So we may need to wait a bit, but so yes, after waiting some time, after doing the next status, we see that the both of them are ready. So let's have a look how it looks like. If you call describe command, you will see the two URLs now. You have legacy mesh endpoint, which still pointing to the old URL, and then now have edge mesh endpoint, which forward you to the new URL. So it's another domain, hsandbox GraphQL Adobe IO, and if you will open it, then you have already even the Yoga GraphQL client here, so you can already try something out of it. Let's go back. And that's it. So you can just then switch your front ends to using the new API, and it will work out of box, so you don't need to worry about a lot. What else I want to touch today? I want to touch the performance a bit. So what I prepared, I have like 3 URLs now. So we have the original vignette.com URL with a query to get the product information. We have old mesh, which is Graph Adobe IO, so that's a standard mesh you can, or you may be already using for your projects. And also you have H1. So those are URLs I just showed you. You can take them from here. And we can make, or we can try all of them one by one. So it will return the base product. Took 3 seconds for H, 1.5 for old, and 400 milliseconds for direct call. So that's not really the performance testing. We're not talking about this right now because it's freshly deployed and not warm enough, let's say so, to really deliver that the result. But what I want to do, I want to run them, right? So I want to make some performance testing. So let's have all those 3 together here. Let's make 10 users and not wait too long. Let's define 2 minutes of calls, and then let's have a look what will happen. So I'm in Germany, and I know that Adobe has the servers here in Frankfurt where I'm located. So as for me, the Edge and the legacy mesh shall not show the big difference on the API's calls. So let's have a look what we've got. So it's still taking some time, it's still executing. You see like the error rate is 0, that's good. Total request is growing, and we have, as we're using the get, and as I showed you, we're using the get for queries now. So the minimum request for old and for edge, I would say it's, for me, it's the same. I mean, this amount of milliseconds is not influence on anything. Even if it will be 100 here, you will never see the difference. The max one is still quite okay, but as I said, more or less they are equal. We can have a look on the average one. So that's basically a bit more clear for us. I would tell you always the best one if you're using the one endpoint is to call it directly, like no additional routing involved. It's the fastest one, and it's always responsive with the same speed because Fastly just directly hit the results from your system. And yeah, let's wait till it finishes. So as a final result, we see that the average response time for both endpoints is more or less equal. What I want to do else, I want to try to route my traffic through another server. So let's say I'm located in Australia, and that's what I will do now. So I'll switch my location to Australian ones, and then I will run the same query, which assuming have to now go through another machines and see what are the result there. So we are done. Let's have a look where we ended up. So as you see, there was a max request quite slow again because I'm now far away. Means the first request still have to be warm up even via the Fastly, by the reason that Fastly also using more or less H, so that's you have to be served by the content from the servers which close to you. In my case, it's in Australia servers. What is a big difference here is that the original request went from the 10 milliseconds to 400 milliseconds. Like if you call in directly, as I know Australia don't have Adobe servers available close. Then if you're talking about the old or legacy mesh, it's slower than the H1. So it's about 15% maybe at this test. So it can vary, but it's already definitely that the H is faster at this point. Honestly, what I want to see if that maybe you who located the worldwide can make the same test I made and share it into the comment or find me on LinkedIn or Twitter. And yeah, I will be happy to hear your feedback if you found it faster and if you see any other issues. But at this moment, I see that the Edge is faster. I know why it's faster, I can imagine, because it's just serving the content from the closest server to you. And as Adobe still deprecated the legacy one, you have to switch. But I just wanted to show you that you have nothing to worry about, quite easy to do, and from the performance point of view, it's just better. One more point I wanted to do, not sure it will go to the final recording, but I want to include the amount, increase the amount of the virtual users and make a run. Yes, and that's what I wanted to show because I saw it already before and I was surprised it didn't happen on my previous test. But I just increased the amount of the requests that system is sending out. So per second we have more requests. And as you can see there, this number started to change, which is an error percentage. So technically the old mesh even not always capable to hold amount of requests and starting to return the error. And I guess I know the error is like, yes, too many requests for 129. That's one another reason why the H mesh is better at this point. At least it's become stable and there are no errors still, so it can handle your request quite well. That's it. I hope I gave you the nice overview why you have to switch. Another point that you have to switch because Adobe wanted you. But yeah, if be honest, it's better, it's faster. So again, as a reminder, please try it yourself, run this test. I mean, you can do it with a Postman, it's quite easy and quite fast, and I really want to see if there is any difference for you also. Thanks and see you on the next videos. Bye bye.